welcome back to another exciting space episode of Yaddle Chattle, an Eastside Dave Star Wars podcast featuring Jared Fishman.
Hello, everyone.
Jared, the debut of Yaddle Chattle is being talked about on every kind of social media, not just earthly social media. Tatooine Reddit is calling it the greatest show of all time. Mustafar Twitter says home run, guys. And don't forget Coruscant. The Coruscant Daily says Yaddle Chattle is the best Star Wars podcast of all time. I'd tell you what Alderaan said, but they just blew up. Okay, come on, baby. But Jared.
Yes, David.
We have another Yaddle Chattle episode. And of course, this is a sort of a free-form Star Wars podcast. Plenty of podcasts, you know. In fact, I've had Rebel Force Radio, those guys on all of my shows, Davey Mac Sports Program, Watchers, Eastside Dave Show. They're great guys.
Oh, absolutely.
They're also very well organized and very well produced. They have, very, very high-level professional-sounding audio. Unlike this show, baby.
Well,
screw it, because it's about the Star Wars. It's about the Lucas. It's about the Ewoks and Jabba. It ain't no fancy bells and whistles. You understand?
that's not our style.
That ain't this. That ain't our style. This is more Rogue One. We're the Rogue One maggots. Yeah, Rebel Force Radio and those other kind of big time Star Wars podcasts. That's your Luke and Leia's and Hans and Rey's and stuff. We're the maggots from Rogue One.
Yes.
We're the grunts from Rogue One. That's who we are, baby, and we relish it.
Absolutely, hands down.
Did you enjoy last episode, Jared?
Oh, I had a blast. Thank you again for having me.
I was able to coerce you into doing a second episode. I will say that on the brand new Davey Mac Sports podcast, which has been reignited. So, by the way, make sure you are subscribing onto your feeds. We have the Watchers feed. It's now called Yaddle Chattle and the Watchers. And you can subscribe to that on iTunes or follow me on YouTube, Eastside Dave TV, for that.
That sounds like a great punk rock band.
And then we also have the brand new Davey Mac Sports feed. If you have your Davey Mac Sports program feeds, just reignite them. Because brand new episodes this past Tuesday, Chris Pepper Stanley was on, and he was critical of me and Yaddle Chattle. And the reason why is because he said, don't you think the name is quite specific? He said, Yaddle Chattle. He said, so you're Eastside Dave. He called me a celebrity, which I was in shock about. I don't look at myself as a celebrity in any way, shape, or form, which is why I still shoplift from 7-Eleven. And he says, you're a celebrity and Star Wars is a famous brand, and yet none of them are in the title. So I had to go back and I said, you know what? Damn good point, you son of a bitch. So it's Yaddle Chattle in parentheses, an Eastside Dave Star Wars podcast.
Okay, so that's what it's going to be.
That's the parentheses, but the show is Yaddle Chattle.
I like the concept of Yaddle Chattle just because, you have to be a real, true blue Star Wars fan.
That's right.
To know who Yaddle was.
Exactly. Yaddle, a very important person. And yeah, I said, okay, maybe that was a little specific. Most people don't know Yaddle, the female Yoda from episode 1. But this is bigger than just Yaddle, although we should probably give a little love to Yaddle on each and every episode. So you know what, Yaddle? We love you, baby. Okay? Woo! This is for you, honey! Now, so that covers that. Now listen, I got a couple of things, a couple topics that I keep on my phone here. Okay.
Lay it on me.
First things first, big announcement. I'm forcing you to do this. Now, while Yaddle Chattle has been somewhat consistent, these are random. We're just having fun and dropping these whenever we want to. One thing we will be regimented, Jared,
yes, David,
about is when Obi-Wan Kenobi, the new Star Wars series on Disney Plus debuts. When that debuts, we must do a review and a post show for each and every episode. I'm not saying we have to do it the day it comes out, but whether you're here on a Sunday, whatever, it's got to be every single episode, every single Obi-Wan Kenobi episode deserves its own special Yaddle Chattle. Will you agree to that commitment?
I will do my best.
Listen to that. A very non-committed I will do my best. That's very, very Luke Skywalker-esque, and I'm just going to tell you, pal, I know you didn't say try, but do your better, do not, don't do nothing. Just do it.
Well, you have to understand something, David. I went to the Earl Douglas School of Broadcasting.
Oh, yes? And what's that? Overpromise and underdeliver?
Yes.
That's the king.
Yes.
I was always underpromise and overdeliver. We were yin and yang. He was always overpromise and underdeliver. I'm underpromise and overdeliver. See? Now listen. So you will sort of commit to that.
Yeah.
The Obi-Wan Kenobi series is going to be spectacular. Now, did you hear the breaking news? It will not be debuting on Wednesday, May 25th. It's going to be now pushed back a couple days, though, so I'm not freaking out that much. Pushed back to Friday, May 27th. The good thing is, because they're pushing it back 2 days, and yeah, it is quizzical, but because they're pushing it back 2 days, they said they're going to do 2 episodes on that Friday.
So this doesn't make sense. Why wouldn't they release it on May 4th?
Or no,
It's Star Wars Day.
No, but dude, May 25th was actually, May 25th was actually the Star Wars date from 1977.
I get that.
But now they're not even doing that. Now they're doing May 27th, which has never been a Star Wars date.
You literally have 2 days in May that are dedicated to Star Wars. You have May the 4th and you have the 5th.
Correct.
So why wouldn't they even, if they were going to do back to back, wouldn't it make sense to premiere it on May the 4th?
Well, a couple things. They have Moon Knight, and Moon Knight will still be going on. That just started on Disney Plus. That's the new Marvel series with Oscar Isaac Poe from the Star Wars sequel trilogy. So they have that to go. I know their scheduling was weird with this one. I don't know why it would even be bumped back 2 days anyway. I mean, May 25th, it's like you have plenty of time to make whatever edits you have to make. I'm not exactly sure what this even means.
I mean, this has been talked about. Like, originally they wanted to do an Obi-Wan movie, and that was supposed to be one of the inner movies between the sequel trilogy.
I'm okay. I'm pretty good with the fact that this is going to be a Disney Plus series. I'm excited for the Inquisitors. If you watch Star Wars Rebels, the one Inquisitor from season 1 was really, really cool. One of the best bad guys we've seen in a while. Sort of a Darth Maul type of vibe. He got lots of criticism because even though I thought he looked and sounded great on the trailer, people were like, well, he's too pudgy, or like his face wasn't. But they're failing to recognize that in Star Wars Rebels and Clone Wars, they have this like stylized, overly thin, narrow type of aesthetic.
Yes.
So it's not accurate. Like, even Darth Vader's got like even the lightsabers are like thin, on Rebels especially. On Rebels, everyone's like really squashed in, on the sides.
I noticed that when watching, like, I'm still watching the first season of Clone Wars.
Okay.
They're all very squarish.
Yeah.
Like, that was kind of like the style that Lucas was going for when he made that movie.
Yes. So where are you on the Clone Wars?
Oh my God.
You're on season 1?
Yeah. I think I'm at the episode.
When are you going to get to season 4 or 5? Things get juicy.
I'm probably going to have to binge it now that we're doing Yaddle Chattle.
Thank you. It's about time. Let's go. I just watched the last 4 episodes of season 7 again, which if anyone...
the last season, right?
The last season. And I've been saying this for a long time, and I'll just repeat it very quickly. Anyone at Lucasfilm is listening, put those 4 episodes together, and even if it's just a limited release them theatrically as a movie. It's those last 4 episodes of season 7 of the Clone Wars are as good as any movie that we've seen. And I gotta tell you, they might even be better than a couple of the sequel movies. All right?
Yeah, before Carrie Fisher died, I was kind of hoping that they would do like an animated CG version of what is that? Shadows of the Empire, which was like a book that takes place between episodes 5 and 6, and it kind of ties all the loose ends. You see like Luke building his lightsaber, doing some more Jedi training.
I like that.
Like there's this whole underground like underworld. There's this kind of mob prince named Prince Zizor. It's an excellent book, and they kind of have a Han Solo-esque character named Dash Rendar.
Okay.
And I was kind of hoping that like someone like Kurt Russell could voice him, and then you could get like everyone else back to do the voice. But this is before Carrie Fisher died.
True. Yeah.
So
we'll see.
They put the kibosh on that.
So we're gonna have to see what goes on with that. I agree with you. Now, I want to talk about something that I've discussed before, but not in length, and something that I feel very passionate about. Because Obi-Wan Kenobi is very fresh on the brain, I want to get this out there before the series. I've been saying this for years. We'll see if Jared agrees or disagrees with me. This is a very big statement.
Lay it on me.
Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru are the biggest heroes in the history of Star Wars. Period. End of sentence. End of discussion. That's it. In fact, let me put on the closing song. You've listened to the Yaddle Chattle. We're out of here. Goodbye, everyone. Well, okay, fine. I'll let you respond after all.
You know what?
Well, do you want to hear my my reasoning? I guess that's probably pretty important if you're going to respond.
Can I?
Yes.
Try to take a guess of why?
Yes, please.
Because they raised Luke the right way, not to become a huge piece of shit.
All right, you're somewhat on. You're somewhat on, but there's more to it than that.
Okay.
At the end of episode 3, when Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru get a baby Luke Skywalker, literally, it might even be the last shot of the film. I think that is the final shot of episode 3. Is Obi-Wan? Uncle Owen, Aunt Beru, and a baby Luke Skywalker looking at the binary sunset.
Yeah.
I believe so. Now, I believe that when Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru get Luke Skywalker, they know, okay, as a baby, in that scene in episode 3, they know 100% this is a death sentence. They know that this child is special, but that obviously because this child is special, there will be people trying to find this kid, and they will be the kinds of people who will kill. Uncle Owen, Aunt Beru have been around the block. They know how vicious Tatooine is. But they also know how vicious the galaxy is. And I believe that they know full on, if we take this kid in, we will die. In fact, they could just as easily say, Obi-Wan, with all due respect, you're the Jedi. You have fighting powers beyond our comprehension. You're the guy who should be watching Luke Skywalker. Us, we're a couple of farmers, for crying out loud. We're moisture farmers. But instead, Owen, Beru, they look at each other and they go, without having to say a word, even though this child will result in our death, we're taking this kid in and we're going to love this kid and we're going to raise this child as our son. And as a result, Obi-Wan learned that very crucial lesson that Qui-Gon forgot. Not only can you not separate kids from their families, but you should encourage the children to be around their family for a positive upbringing. When Qui-Gon took Anakin Skywalker away from his mother, that was the first nail in the coffin, even at the age of 5 or 6, of Anakin going down the dark side. He couldn't take that emotionally. And I never understood why the Jedi who got all the money in the world can't say, hey, let's get a few extra $1,000 for crying out loud. Pay the guy and bring Shmi Skywalker here. But anyway, the point is that Qui-Gon failed in that regard. He should have never separated the Anakin from his mom. Obi-Wan remembers this. Obi-Wan is Qui-Gon's Padawan, okay? And so Obi-Wan says, I'm not going to make the same mistake as my master. You too, Uncle Owen, Aunt Beru, you need to raise this child because you're the closest thing to family. And they did it, despite knowing it would be a death sentence. They didn't know when. Maybe people are going to kill us next week, 10 years from now, 20 years from now. But at some point, this child will more than likely result in our assassinations. But they did it anyway. And Obi-Wan said, you have to do it. It was a huge sacrifice, bigger sacrifice for Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru than you could possibly imagine. What do you think about that?
I see what you're saying.
Greatest heroes ever.
However, and here's the caveat. They didn't get assassinated until the droids showed up. They went 20-something years. Because, like, Luke's about, like, 1920.
Why did droids show up?
I mean, it's probably the Force.
Thank you.
Something to do with that.
Thank you. You think the droids... Tatooine is as big as Jupiter in our solar system. People, don't realize the size of Tatooine. Yes, it's a desert planet. It doesn't mean that it's small. It's a gigantic desert planet. But in this huge planet, okay, those droids, get shot, a mile from Luke Skywalker's house. Come on.
Come
on.
The transporter had just so happened to be in proximity to Tatooine that they it just seems very fated. But I mean, this is George Lucas and Star
But that's
Wars.
even the point. The point is that Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru, they didn't know who was going to kill them, how they were going to get killed, what would the circumstances be. They just knew, we'll take this child in, and we're going to die. And by the way, it was Luke who said, "What about that one, Uncle Owen, the blue one? What about that?" Even that was fucking Luke's goddamn, thing.
I know, it's all it'll be cool because everything comes back to, everything being kind of fated. But at the same time, aren't you kind of surprised that it took the droids showing up for, like... It wasn't even like Darth Vader was, like, scouring the galaxy for his son.
We don't know that necessarily. Well, here's the thing.
It wasn't like they killed him in reaction to...
Well, Vader doesn't know that he has a kid. Because in Empire Strikes Back, the newer version, the Emperor is talking to him with the hologram, and he's like, the son of Skywalker survives. And Vader's like, "Oh, how could that be possible?" He's like, "Search your feelings, Lord Vader. You know it be true." Remember? He says that. Vader is not aware. And when at the end of episode 4, 1977 Star Wars, episode 4, New Hope, he says the Force is strong with this one, but he doesn't say, "Oh, that feels like my son." He doesn't know he has kids. I genuinely believe that Vader thinks that Padme died with the babies
during childbirth.
During childbirth, that Padme and the kids all died.
That would make sense considering he didn't sense any kind of Force sensitivity with Leia when he was interrogating her and showed her Alderaan blowing up.
Well, let's get into this then. All right, since you're going to be so smart-mouthed. Do you think that the Emperor killed Padme? There is a theory that the Emperor somehow was able to manipulate, because Padme and Anakin had such a strong connection, perhaps the Emperor was able to sort of take Padme's life force and honestly manipulate it and put it into Vader, because Vader was on death's door. Anakin was on death's door. They were both, on the operating table. Padme her life starts draining out of her, and Darth Vader comes back to life.
I'll take it.
And furthermore, he does lie to Vader and says, "You killed her in your rage." Well, he didn't kill her. He did kind of, choke her with the Force, but when Obi-Wan goes over, she's alive.
Yeah, but she's also 9 months pregnant with twins. So, like, that kind of stress. And I don't know. And Natalie Portman's got a small frame. So carrying, like, twins might have broken her. I don't know.
All right.
But I like what you're selling there. So I'm going to buy it.
It's good.
I'm going to buy that.
It's good, right?
But yes, I will agree that Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru had, like, nothing to gain by taking this kid in.
Nothing.
In fact, like...
It's worse. A mouth to feed.
He really, they didn't even have a relationship with Anakin.
Little Force brat with another goddamn mouth to feed. You know how hungry those Force babies are, by the way? Never satisfied. Earth babies cry every 2 hours to get fed. Force babies cry every 17 minutes.
Jeez.
You think Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru had a good night's sleep? That's why Uncle Owen aged 50 years. He looks worse than Obi-Wan. Everyone talks about, he went from Ewan McGregor to Alec Guinness. Look at goddamn Uncle Owen from episode 3 to episode 4.
Well, it's supposed to be like 20 years.
That poor man.
On a desert planet.
With 2 sons. if you're of like, English and Irish heritage, which a lot of those Star Wars actors are, 2 sons on a desert planet, yeah, that probably would age you about 50 years. In 15 years.
Because Aunt Beru in like the end of episode 3 is really cute. And then she looks like...
She's old too, a little bit.
She looks like an old woman.
Yeah.
At in episode 4. They didn't really either...
Making those smoothies. Making them, putting all kind of carrots and things. Yeah, blue milk.
What do you think blue milk tastes like?
I always felt like it would have like a minty type of thing. Like Breyer's chocolate chip mint ice cream, and if the consistency wasn't as thick, and take out the chips, of course. But if you made a Breyer's chocolate chip mint ice cream milkshake, took out the chips and made it regular consistency, to me that's what it would taste like.
I think it would taste like raspberry.
You cheapskate, you could go to Disney World and find out.
Oh, they have blue milk there?
Yeah, they have alcoholic and non-alcoholic.
Oh my God, it probably is pina colada.
And green milk.
Green milk.
From episode 8.
Oh, when
sea cow.
Luke milks that thing. And
I'll tell you one thing. If they had a sea cow on my island, I'd be sucking that thing all day long.
Yeah, they're called manatees.
I was the only one who was not grossed out in the movie theater when that happened. I was like, you suck that tit, Luke.
Oh, he was thirsty.
Yeah. I'd put one of those Gatorade coolers up to that man cow. Or man cow. To that sea cow. I'd have all kind of coolers going on. I'd be like, oh, I'm going to be here for a while. I'm going to fill up. Don't worry. I got some force tricks. I'll make some things levitate while I take all your milk. Now, our final topic of the day, Jared, is a very important one.
Go ahead.
Wookiees versus Wampas. Who would win in a fight? Let's go. This doesn't need no setup. I think it's a pretty goddamn even match. Well, we're going to call this Star Wars Cage Fights. Brand new segment on Yaddle Chattle. I just came up with 4 seconds ago.
I'm going to go with Wookiees.
You're going with Wookiee over Wampa?
I'm going to go with a Wookiee over a Wampa.
Very close battle for multiple reasons. I think they both enjoy ripping limbs off of people.
I feel like a Wookiee, though, is a lot more durable and can take a shit ton more damage than a Wampa could. Like in Boba Fett, that one Wookiee.
Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan.
Yeah.
Or Chrysanthemum.
Chrysanthemum, whatever.
Chrysanthemum.
Kazakhstan. That's where from Borat's from.
Kazakhstan.
Okay, chrysanthemum.
Yeah, it's like chrysanthemum, like the flower.
Yeah, I like that. He was awesome.
He took a lot of damage.
No, he's huge.
Yeah, but Chewie could probably take as much damage. We've never seen Chewie take that kind of damage.
Well, he was shot in episode 7 pretty severely.
Yeah, but that guy really took a crap ton of that would have killed a human. So I'm gonna probably say that a Wookiee could at least outlast a Wampa.
I like what you're saying with one regard. In fact, you didn't even say this, but when you were talking, I thought of it. So I'm going to give myself the credit. I do think that the Wookiees will win because at the end of the day, it is a very close matchup. But I feel like the Wookiee has more flexibility, more, just can move better. We've seen what happens in real boxing where, for instance, you get 2 big guys. Whoever has the better footwork wins. Muhammad Ali versus George Foreman. Ali was 8 years older than Foreman, was supposed to get destroyed, ended up whooping George Foreman's ass. The point is, it's because of his footwork. And I think a Wookiee is going to be able to move a lot better than a Wampa. I don't know how well a Wampa can move.
Neither do I. So
because they don't have any reason. They have no evolutionary reason. There's no trees on freaking Hoth. So they don't have to swing and do this kind of thing. They just have to walk for their prey. Whereas a Wookiee, you grow up, on that planet there. It's Kashyyyk. You got all kind of trees. You're always swinging around. You're going for a swim. You're having fun. You're making log cabins.
Yeah. I think that because when was it Luke and Han defeated that Wampa, it didn't take much to take him down.
Just Luke defeated the Wampa. Who are you talking about? There was no one else.
Oh, no. I'm thinking about when Han came to rescue him and cut open the...
That's the poor little Tauntaun.
The Tauntaun, sorry.
No, this isn't a Wookiee versus Tauntaun. That fucking Tauntaun's head will get torn off by Chewie in 2 seconds.
No, I'm
My God, Chris Stanton, if he got his hands on a goddamn Tauntaun, he'd eat the whole fucking thing.
I think he'd also beat up a Wampum. I put all my money on a Wookiee.
So what creature of relative size? We're not talking Rancors, okay? Don't screw with me. What creature of relative size could even beat a Wookiee? Feels like we just put Wookiees on the goddamn top of the pyramid here.
I mean, they were pretty integral in episode 3. Like,
I'll tell you what.
Yoda made a personal, trip to Kashyyyk.
So let's just call it like it is. Are Wookiees the greatest soldiers, warriors, I suppose, in the galaxy?
Next to Jedis, yes.
Wow! Because, my friend, have you not heard of a little show called The Mandalorian? Hello? You're telling me that a Mandalorian couldn't beat a Wookiee in a fight?
I think that the ultimate warrior would either be a Wookiee Jedi combination or a Wookiee Mandalorian combination.
All right, stop it with the Wookiee Mandalorian. If you got a Wookiee, you're not going to put him in the mask. You see? You're going to enjoy his dog face. Lucas would never put a damn Wookiee. It would be like putting a Stormtrooper helmet on Chewie. They should have put a Stormtrooper on Chewie and had him rescue Princess Leia in episode 4. But I kind of like your Wookiee Jedi thing. Can't they ever learn to speak English? Will that ever happen in Star? Actually, that would be a terrible idea.
That would be a terrible
Or
idea.
it would be really funny, like the in Gremlins 2, where the one gremlin had this well-spoken British accent and was very smart.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
If a Wookiee's like, the thing about being a Wookiee is we have all kinds of adventures. All right.
My favorite activity on Life Day.
Oh God. That's it, Jared.
That's it.
So I
That's
guess
all
we're
we got.
coming down. I guess we're on the side of the Wookiees.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, screw you, Wampas. All right.
The Wampas don't even seem that intelligent either. I feel like
No, I agree
Wookiee-
with that. Wookiees are more like humans. They have brains and stuff. A Wampa is a stupid beast.
Yeah, it's
What's
like
wrong with you?
It's like a Yeti.
Yeah.
It's like a dumb Yeti.
Yeah, and it also reminded me of that the one thing. What was the Rudolph? Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer reminds me of the snow monster.
Oh
in
yeah,
that one, too.
that's a Yeti.
That's the Yeti.
I think that's what they were going for.
All right.
Like the abominable snowman.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Yeti. It's like it's kind of like
Well, Jared,
David.
that'll do it for another episode of Yaddle Chattle. I hope you're all enjoying Yaddle Chattle. Make sure you're subscribing on the iTunes, Yaddle Chattle and the Watchers, and Eastside Dave feed, or YouTube, Eastside Dave TV, or the website, EastsideDaveCountry.com. Did we mention these are all for free?
Oh, absolutely. Free.
I mean,
content.
come on. And that'll do it. Until next time on Yaddle Chattle, he's Jared Fishman. I'm Master David.
May the Force be with you.
Good night, everybody!